Hey crafty friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be crafting this tropical flower mug with my Cricut Mug Press and Cricut Infusible Ink. Making my own mugs is one of my favorite crafty projects, and using this mug press makes it really easy to do, especially as a beginner crafter. Alright, let's get crafting. Okay, so here's what I'll be using for this project. My Cricut Mug Press, my Cricut Joy Extra Cutting Machine, some Cricut Infusible Ink transfer sheet in this bright rainbow watercolor pattern, and a blank Cricut mug in the 12-ounce size. And as always, I will link the full list of supplies down in the description below. Okay, let's head over to Design Space. So we're here in Cricut Design Space, and on my canvas I have my design set up, and I'm going to add Cricut's mug template to make sure that my design is aligned properly for a 12-ounce mug. So I'm going to search for mug template, and there are different templates available, and you'll see when I hover over this image it tells me which size template it is. I'm going to pick this straight edge design for the 12-ounce size and click the plus button to add to my canvas, and then click on the view canvas link on this pop-up window here below, and now the template is added to my canvas. And now I'm going to take my design and place it on top of my template and resize it just a little bit so that it fits within the gray box that you see here, indicating where the design should be within the template. And then make sure that's all aligned, and I'm going to change the outer cut template to white and hide the gray design area since I don't really need to cut that. And now I'm going to save my project, and then I will attach the design to the template by selecting the design in the template and clicking on attach. And now I'm set and ready to make it, and then I'll click make. And I'll preview my design on my cutting mat, and with Infusible Ink projects, the design also needs to be mirrored, so I will turn mirror on and click continue. And then I'm going to select Infusible Ink transfer sheets as my base material. And since it's not bookmarked currently, I'm going to browse all materials, search for Infusible Ink, select that, and save it as my bookmark for a future, and click done. And now I'm ready to cut. Okay, here's my transfer sheet, and I've already cut it to size, and you'll notice that the colors look different from what you see on the packaging, but that's okay, as that is part of the transfer process. Once it heats, it'll be the right color. I'm going to place it on my cutting mat with the material side up and use a brayer to get it flat and smooth to remove any bubbling on the mat and make sure it's adhered pretty well to the mat. Now we're ready to load the mat and set to cut. While it's cutting, let's talk about Cricut's Infusible Ink. Unlike regular vinyl, Infusible Ink will actually fuse with the material and will become one with the material that it is applied on, versus with regular vinyl, it's applied on top. This means your designs won't peel or crack over time. The colors are super vibrant and permanent, and it's essentially Cricut's solution for crafters to do sublimation printing without having a separate sublimation printer and ink. This means that Infusible Ink will only work on compatible materials that allow for the sublimation process. And now that the design is cut, I'm going to load the mat from the machine and remove my transfer sheet from the mat and get ready to weed out the excess material from the design. And then I'm going to just use my fingers to remove the excess pieces of the sheet. You could use a weeding tool, but you want to be careful with your tool scratching up the ink of the sheet, which could ruin your design. Plus, it's pretty easy to use your fingers and just roll the design back and forth and remove the pieces. So I'm just going to take my time and just peel away the excess and just keep going. And you can see it's pretty easy to just remove the sheet. And sometimes it gets a little finicky, but overall it's pretty easy and kind of satisfying removing the pieces. So I'm going to continue to weed all the little pieces. It's amazing how easy this is to remove, even for the tiniest pieces. And I'm going to continue to keep weeding until I've removed all the excess pieces. And in the interest of time, I'm going to speed up the rest of this part of the video. Okay, so now I'm left with just my design. And I will prep my mug and place the design on the mug. So I'm going to clean my mug with a lint roller to remove any dust and debris which can interfere with the transfer. So I'm going to get that all cleaned up and that's set. Now I'm going to take my design and carefully position it onto the mug with the sticky side of the transfer sheet onto the mug. So you'll see the design is adhered to the mug. And I'm going to make sure it's straight and centered. And I'm just going to fix this as I go and make sure that the sheet will stick pretty good onto the mug. And it looks pretty good. And I'm going to just cut a few of the excess pieces here on the ends so that it will all fit nicely. Okay, so that's all on there now, and I'm ready to press. Now it's time for the fun and easy part. I have plugged in my mug press and I'm going to wait until it heats up. Once it's ready, the light will turn green and it will beep at me. So I will just give it a few minutes here before it's ready. Now the mug press is ready, so I'm going to put my mug into the mug press and I'm going to make sure that all of the design is covered by the heating plates, and then I will lower the lever and the press will automatically start. The process takes about 6 minutes. Once it's done, all the lights will be green and lit and will beep at me letting me know it's done. All right, the mug press is done and I'm going to lift the lever here to release the mug, and it's very hot, so I'm going to carefully remove the mug and I'm going to let it cool completely before removing the sheet. So now that it's cooled down, I will remove the transfer sheet. And that's it. I think it turned out so good and so cute, and I just love the colors. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did, and if you want to make this exact mug yourself, I've added the link to my Cricut Design Space project in the description below, and I'd love to see your creations, so feel free to tag me on Instagram at Stacy Makes Things. Until next time, happy crafting!